Welcome to the very first BlackHat edition of CyberBytes, the podcast. My name's Oliver Legg, co-founder of Aspirant Search, and I'm honoured to welcome Greg Martin, CEO and co-founder of Go-Security. Ghosts have a mission to secure the modern applications and had a memorable BlackHat unveiling their very first product. Greg and I talk about how you can still have fun with branding and marketing whilst tackling critical security issues. Well, absolute pleasure to have Greg Martin, the CEO and co-founder of Go-Security. How's it going, dude?
Thanks for having me. It's going great. Another year at a hacker summer camp.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've gone from one hot place in Texas to another.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. But how long have you been here for so far?
I got in on Tuesday, and I'll be here till Friday.
Yeah. Well, at least there's not really any jet lag to compete with.
No.
What will be really good to just kind of dive into hear a bit about Ghost. You're a seed stage cybersecurity vendor doing some really, really incredible stuff. You've got some really, really good backers. It'd be awesome to hear what the kind of elevator pitch on Ghost is and the reason behind founding it.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. We're super excited. We're launching our product this week. It's been about a year and a half since we started the company. My co-founders, Eric and Josh, both very seasoned technical leaders, and we formed this company because we saw this huge gap in the ability to protect modern applications running in the cloud. What we saw was that a lot of companies are still using older technologies to try to defend those apps, technologies that were developed, sometimes 10, 20 years ago, to scan for vulnerabilities, to block threats. I'm talking about things like web application firewalls. And what we found is that they really don't understand the cloud. They don't understand what a modern application is. Modern applications today are based primarily on APIs and microservices. And we saw this huge gap in the market, that there's not a purpose-built set of technologies yet. They're really designed to protect the applications in the cloud. So we came up with the idea for Go-Security, and this is obviously what we believe to be one of the coolest brands in cyber, right? So we got really lucky by picking that name and having it available, and just super excited about the team, the brand, the mission that we're on. We think it's a huge opportunity. When we talk to customers and CISOs and SOC teams and ask them, what are they really concerned about? Cloud security obviously is top of mind, but protecting those APIs, that's huge, and that's a theme that we hear over and over and over. So we're really excited to be launching our product this week at BlackHat and get out in the market and start solving some real problems.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have chosen a better week to do it. And the branding's awesome. There's too many that just kind of mold into one.
We thought, why not have fun with it? Have something to stand out.
Yeah. And what the marketing, when I was talking to one of your co-founders, he was talking about how the marketing behind it has been one of the biggest things to kind of announce and get out there. So what's the idea been, and how have you managed to make it so unique?
Yeah, well, a lot traditionally in cybersecurity, you've seen a lot of this, like, two different types of marketing, right? You've seen the kind of real heavy, kind of fear-based or kind of aggressive type of marketing where, you're kind of scared of all the potential bad things that can happen, right? And I guess that works to a certain extent, but, and you get the more kind of bland kind of corporate style. So we thought to take a completely different path and just do something fun. Everybody knows, cybersecurity is a very serious issue, but that doesn't mean that you can't have fun with the marketing and fun with the company. And I feel like we've been able to trickle that down through the whole culture of what we do. So even though it's a very serious issue, we take it very seriously, but we have a lot of fun doing it, right?
Yeah, no, I love that. And how are you differentiating yourself against, you talked a lot about APIs and securing APIs. So how are you kind of different from the other specific API security firms?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So one of the reasons why I brought up API security is that that's a very pressing issue right now. So a lot of the interest that we're receiving is based on that core issue. Our vision at Ghost is to be a full stack application security company for modern apps or apps in the cloud. So our vision is to open the aperture beyond just protecting APIs and microservices, but that's what's really driving a lot of the demand right now. So we talk about it, we focus on it, and obviously our product does a really good job of protecting APIs from cyber attacks.
Yeah, awesome. And what's your background yourself? What was your route into security, and then what led you to that moment of thinking it's time to go out and do this ourselves?
Sure. Yeah. Well, probably very common to a lot of the folks you talk about. I started as a hacker, in my early days, and
on the black side or the white side, or is that not for the camera?
We won't go there, right? Maybe over beers later. But honestly, I was just right place, right time. I got into it as a kid, as a hobby, and it just turned out to be a fantastic career. And I got my start working for a cybersecurity startup. And this was in the early 2000s, and after that, got acquired. I founded my first company as a founder. I wrote a piece of open source software that became very popular, and decided, hey, maybe I'll try this, starting a business and turning this into a real thing. So that was when I started my first company, Anomaly. So it was 2012. So it's been some time now.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. And where did you meet your co-founders, Eric and Josh?
Yeah, Josh and Eric. Eric was previously CTO and early founding team at Cylance, another kind of big rock star cybersecurity company, and Josh had a similar background in entrepreneurial on the technical side, and sold his last startup to Aqua Security. We got all in touch through either a mutual friend or mutual investors that said, hey, you guys are really smart. We know you're both coming available because your companies got acquired. You should meet. So I believe it was like BlackHat 2 years ago. We all got together, met. We hit it off immediately. Like-minded group of guys, just get it, been there, done that. And, we just had the right ingredients to come together and do something. So it worked out really perfectly on the timing.
It sounds like you've got a real dream team. Everyone prior acquisitions and prior founders.
It really is. What I've learned, this is my third time as a founder CEO. And what I've learned is that the team is the product that you're building, right? The team and the culture. And if you get that right, I believe that anything is possible, right? You will find success. You may have to pivot a couple of times to figure it out, but if you have the right team in place and you built the right culture, that's your product that you're building.
Yeah, and I've always found this a really hard question to kind of answer and articulate if anyone ever asks me, but how would you describe Ghost culture? You said it's very fun and you're fun but serious. But what's your culture all about?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. So one thing that's different about Ghost is that we started in this kind of COVID era. So the team has been remote since the start. So that's added a couple of different things for our culture. One is that we've been able to attract talent wherever they live. So we have employees in 5 different countries, for example, 2 in the UK, 1 in Sweden, several in Canada. And so that's really cool because that brings a lot of cultural diversity to the team. Not having a central headquarters or office means that we can take those funds that we would have spent on an office and do some really cool offsites. So we try to meet maybe twice a year in some cool location. We went to Vail, Colorado, and had everybody mountain biking in the summer. We most recently went to Key West, Florida. That was really cool. I think that you can never replace bonding in person. So I think it's really important. So work hard, have fun, take your job seriously, but have an attitude of, you're doing something really cool and innovative, and being supportive of each other is kind of key to our culture. And then try to get together and have fun together.
Yeah, no, love that. And this kind of ties into the cultural piece as well. But Eric was talking about how when you're finding and attracting the right talent, it's finding people that want to solve really hard problems.
That's right.
So what's kind of talk more about that?
Yeah, well, I believe that there's a certain type of individual that's well suited for an early stage company, just like there's people that are better suited for companies in the later stage. So you really want to find people that are flexible. They're open-minded to do a bunch of different things, because what they're working on one week or very likely will change the next week. So they have to be okay with that rapid change and disruption. But also just, it can be stressful, right? Having those deadlines of being an early stage company where everything that you do is so important to the success. But you can also find that really exciting. And that's one of the things that attracts me to doing these early stage companies. So we try to find people with that mindset that work really well in that environment. And, I think that's one of the key ingredients to kind of building that successful founding team.
Easier said than done in assessing that, though.
That's
Unless
right.
someone's successfully done it before.
That's
how do you actually vet that? What do you use to work out if someone has that ability?
Well, you've heard a lot of different things like hire slow. We definitely have.
There's normally an extra bit there, which is fire
fast. Yeah, that's true too. At the end of the day, if you want to build a responsible company, if you do make a mistake in the hiring process, which happens sometimes, you do have to take care of that and be mature, and that's a responsible thing. But I think outside of that, one of the things that we do that we found to be very effective is that we involve as much of the team in the hiring process. So it's not just top down. It's not just Josh, Eric, and myself interviewing these people. We involve about as many folks as possible to suss out, are they a cultural fit? Are they a good fit for early stage company? What's their personality trait like? And then obviously the technical stuff is very important too. But the more kind of mind you can have on that, and we have a system where everybody has to vote yes. And the problem with that is that it does make the process slow, because it's hard to get that democratic yes on everyone. But when you do, the likeliness of having a rock star on the team is very high. And so we try to stick very closely to that strategy.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's on the flip side, and from the candidate side, it's great as well, because I'm a strong believer that the best candidates will be incredibly picky over which firms they join.
That's
and
right.
if they're not vetting you, they're probably not that good a candidate, because they should be selecting to go to the next rockstar company.
100%.
So being able to give them the opportunity to speak to so many people and get a real feel for the team, I think that's really good.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But what's next for Ghost in H2 then? I guess a lot of client acquisition now that you've got a product out in the market.
That's it, really. Now my job begins. So I'm going to be out, courting customers and finding people to solve problems with, and we take a very partnership based approach. So we're not looking to sell you just a software platform, right? We want to be your business partners. We want to understand really, what your challenges are in your environment, and come together and bring our expertise and our platform. And I think that really creates the winning ingredients to have some success stories long term, from my experience. So, I would rather have a smaller amount of just really strong customers in the beginning that we can build some real repeatable success stories before we open the floodgates, per se.
Yeah, And are you going straight into the enterprise? Are you looking at mid-market first? What's the goal?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So we are focused a lot on enterprise right now. We do have some mid-market companies that we're working with. I think we're trying to make it a blend. Good security tools shouldn't be for the one percenters of companies out there, the only ones that can afford it. So we believe that because our technology is based in the cloud, we can make it scale for just about any size organization that has these problems. So I think companies that are running their apps in the cloud, they have overburdened security teams that are figuring out how to really drive scale, but also be efficient with their spend. If our theory is correct, the Ghost platform should be able to replace a lot of legacy technologies that they were using for AppSec that just really aren't effective anymore. So if you can turn off, 3 or 4 different tools by turning on one tool, that's a win for everybody.
Yeah, there's a kind of tool consolidation seems to be a pretty hot topic at the moment.
So I think it makes a lot of sense. There's been so much change in IT, and the cloud's supposed to drive efficiencies. Why not start bringing those efficiencies to the security realm as well?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what should people be excited about in terms of top candidates thinking about Ghost then in this period of growth?
Well, besides working for a company that has an amazing culture and brand, we're working on some really cutting edge technology, and that's one of the things that attracts top talent, especially on the engineering side, is that you're working using some of the latest code bases, cloud technologies, machine learning technologies. So you're living on the cutting edge, and I think a lot of people are attracted to that. So that's one of the things that bring a lot of the technical engineers to come talk to the Ghost team. But also we're just really a super talented team. So if you like working next to A players that are going to level your game up, I think that's critical to really finding a happy workplace. You want to feel challenged, but in a healthy way.
Yeah, awesome. Well, huge congrats to you and all the team with the launch this week. And yeah, I, as I'm sure everyone else will be, really eagerly looking forward to seeing what you guys can do. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Pleasure. We hope you've enjoyed this latest episode of CyberBytes, the podcast. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell your friends. If you want to explore being a guest or how Aspiron Search can help you build high-performing security and go-to-market teams, then get in touch on LinkedIn or info@aspironsearch.com.